Hello everyone, this is Somit. I have Saurabh with me, and today we are going to show you a RAG-based chatbot application using Azure AI Foundry and SharePoint framework. In this demo, first we will look into the high-level architecture, and then Saurabh will show us a live demo of the application. With that being said, let me share my screen to check the high-level architecture. Our application basically comprised of three major components. One is the ingestion pipeline, and number two and number three are backend FastAPI retrieval and the front-end chatbot UI developed in SPFx. In ingestion pipeline, as you can see, there is a Power Automate flow, which is periodically picking up documents from SharePoint document library, which is our existing knowledge source, dumping all the documents into Azure Blob storage with proper metadata, and then calling the ingestion endpoint, which is once again a backend FastAPI application. The ingest API is actually picking the documents from the blob storage, calling document intelligence for the layout, and then performing multiple parsing operations like table extraction, paragraph extraction, etc. Then calling LangChain for generating the chunkings and Azure OpenAI for generating the embeddings. And finally, uploading the array of objects into the Azure AI Search index. I will not do a deep code walkthrough for this application. I will link the repo URL in our video description. You are welcome to look into that. Let's look at our SPFx UI and the backend retrieval API. The end user will come to SharePoint framework web part. We are calling it ShareGPT chatbot. Ask the question. The question will be sent to the backend FastAPI retrieval API as a prompt. And the first thing that Retrieval API will do, it will do the hybrid search against the Azure AI Search Index, BM25 plus HNSW algorithm, finding the top 5 approximate nearest neighbor, then generating the context, and from that, calling Azure OpenAI chat completion method to generate the answer. The LLM generated answer is streamed back to the front end once again, and we are doing one more step here for the reasoning based step, guardrail validation. The LLM generated response will be split into multiple atomic claims, and each claim will be validated against the existing context to compute the verdict, confidence, and the issues. This is basically to check whether the LLM generated response has hallucination or not. When everything is done, the whole JSON contract with answer, citation, guardrail, everything will be sent back to the front end once again, and we are uploading the chat messages into our Cosmos DB to persist the chat history. So that is the overall architecture. Let's look at the UI very quickly. So this is our chatbot UI looks like. I'm loading it for the first time, and the existing chat history is coming up in the left-hand side window, which is coming from the Cosmos DB, which looks like this, the JSON contract. And everything in this SPFx is a component, like left side is a component, top navigation is a component. If we quickly look into our code structure, let me show you that we have some context for prop dealings, and we have some assistant hooks over here, and we have some services over here for API callings. But the UI portion is getting rendered in multiple components. As I was telling you, we have a chatbot component, which is doing the React routing. We have the chat container component. We have the chat content component. Some components like chat content contains multiple subcomponents like chat message list and chat input bar. Here you can see chat input bar and chat message list. We have several components for the UI. So in chat input bar, user will come and user will ask the question, hit the submit button, and then the prompt will go back to the backend. And how it will get the response, so we have in the chat message services, it is calling the API, and we have a method called get chat message reply from assistant. So it is calling the backend API get stream response, and getting all the JSON contract first with the streaming, and this is how the streaming is getting handled over here and being rendered into the React components. So that was about the SPFx. Let's look into the backend retrieval API once. So as I told you that we are storing the history in our Cosmos DB. So you can see there are a lot of chat thread and chat message related endpoints. We have Cosmos helper as well, which is doing all the CRUD operations for the backend in Cosmos DB. The user response is getting streamed from this endpoint. The prompt is coming over here. As I have told you that first thing it will do the hybrid semantic search, then building the context for LLM, and finally generating the streamed response. And this is how the stream will be sent back to the front end. And after that, it will attach the citation and everything, and finally doing the guardrail validation. And finally, when everything is done, adding the message into the Cosmos DB. We have multiple helper files over here like search.api providing the search content, OpenAI doing the OpenAI related operations, Cosmos for Cosmos related operations. So we have all the things over here, Cosmos DB like this, our search index like this, and the blob storage container having some sample documents over here. With that being said, that was the overall architecture. I will hand it over to you, Saurav, to give the demo.
Thank you, Shomit. So myself, Saurabh. In the interest of time, let's quickly look at the demo. So we have already added the part in our SharePoint site. So as you look into it, the CSS, I mean the other page components are hidden using a CSS. So initiate a conversation, we have to click on new conversation, right? And then we have to just ask a question. So let me just ask one. So you see, based on the question, the chat has been renamed with the same. And here is a panel. It's, you see, it can be hidden or bring it back. And here you see it is also runtime showing validating response or generating answer. Everything is over here, and it also brings up this citation URL as well. The verdict and the confidence are also being labeled here. And if you hover on the verdict, we see the verdict reasons as well. So on top of that, this application can also handle the multi-language scenarios. So let's say I have a question in Spanish. Let me just quickly ask that. So the same thing, the current status is it is retrieving the documents and generating the response, right? And here, wait for it to come up with the response. And
So
we'll
it is
see everything. See,
basically all the streaming response that has been fetching from the FastAPI over here.
yeah, thanks, Omid. So here you see our content has been loaded. The response has been generated and the verdict is counted. The color is turned into the green, and here is the confidence score. So let's look at this. And I am not expert in Spanish, so I will rely on the document, the citation document. If I click on it, and it is hosted in the SharePoint as shown earlier. So if I just come below where you see total estimated 5-year cost, and I'm not expert here, but I see the cost to total estimate or something related to the total cost estimated. And looking at the value 2.3 million to 3 million, the same thing we can see here. So we can say, surely say this, it has generated the content or translate the content into Spanish. So with this, we have one more feature to be shown here. So here is the dictate button. If we just click on it, hey, good morning, how are you doing? See, it has text to speech to text. It has converted. If I can just send it back, it will give us some response. Before closing this this conversation, as you see, Sumit has shown that everything is stored in the Cosmos DB. So if we want, we can delete it as well from the DB, and it will be gone from here. To do that, if I just click on it, or let's say use the older one, I say yes, and you see it has been deleted, right? With this, over to you, Sumit.
Okay, yeah, thanks a lot, Saurabh. So we have seen the all the operations over here, and thanks a lot for staying with us. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have any questions or anything, I will link our contacts into the video description. With that being said, thanks a lot for staying with us. Have a great day ahead. Bye bye.